everybody, hi everybody. So today we're going to do something weird, which is I am going to, well, it's not that weird, unusual for this channel. I'm going to read you some of my personal reviews of movies from my Letterboxd account, and you're going to guess what they are. I will give you the review, and then give you a minute, and I'll give you the star rating, and then I will give you a second to figure out what it is. I don't know how many I'm going to do. Enough until I feel like I've gotten rid of the good ones. What we're going to do is I'm going to scroll. I have like 300 and something reviews on here. I'm just going to scroll on and on and on and on and on, all the way back. I'm sure there's a way to like organize them from the oldest ones, but I'm already doing this now. So I only really started recording stuff on Letterboxd during the pandemic, and particularly when I was at uni, because I did like a movie society at my uni, so I was watching a lot more movies than I had been previously. Not all the way at the back, because if we go all the way down, it's like stuff, because I think it's in order of stuff I've watched, not in order of the reviews. So like there's stuff that I definitely saw. Oh no, maybe not, because this reckons, yeah, I've seen some childhood stuff after I watched stuff I definitely didn't watch as a child, so maybe not. Okay. That would be unfair because that's super personal. Okay, we're going to start with an easy one. This has a character's name in it, so we're going to bleep the character's name, but the review is, finally got around to this one, only 11 years late. For reference, I wrote this in 2021. So, finally got around to this one, only 11 years late. 11 years late. It's really good. Obviously, some of the jokes are a bit out of touch, but it's fun. And yes, blank is a complete manic pixie dream girl character. However, I am still in love with her. Which feels like what 18-year-old me was saying was that I didn't understand what a manic pixie dream girl character was. Because kind of the conceit of that is that like men fall in love with them just for being like weird and interesting or whatever. Like that feels like that's kind of part. I'm not doing a very good job of explaining myself. But that's kind of what a manic pixie dream girl is. So in order for me to say that in a way that's like, and I'm interesting because I love this character anyway. Anyway, this was a 4 stars. I give this movie. I would say high praise for me, but not really. Most movies, if it's 3.5 and up, I would recommend it. If it's 3, it's like fine. And there are definitely movies that I've reviewed lowly where I went, people definitely love this, and they are right too. I'm just not them. So, if you know when movies came out and you know anything about Manic Pixie Dream Girls, this will be relatively easy. You figured out? Locked in? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, baby. You know, I was very late to it. In my defense, I was 7 when the movie came out. Yeah, so that one felt not too difficult. Some of these, let's see, that would be difficult. I have some like really short, quippy ones like people do. So, for example, I'm not going to make you guess this one, but I'm going to tell you the review, which is the whole review. It's a 5 stars, and the whole review is they are in love. Which is about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And I was right, and I am right, and that's true, and I should watch it again. Okay. Let's see, what's one that actually says something about the movie? Okay, this one's difficult if you're not meme literate. This one is just, there's pizza on your focus. And it's a 4-star review. I'm not giving you as much time because this one's very silly. This is Hocus Pocus, as known by the iconic Hocus Pocus, there's pizza on your focus. So there's that one. Let's see. A lot of these aren't actually reviews so much as like me just narrating. Like it's kind of like a journal entry about the movie. So like, for example, High School Musical, 4 stars. Heart. For the record, I love all the movies. The second one's just my favorite, but they're all good. And the entire thing is just, and it's a rewatch. Finally got the love of my life to watch this. That's the whole review. I just wanted to let the world know that we watched it together. Okay, we gotta do this one. Oh god, okay. I'm trying to think what age I would have been then. This is maybe 18 or 19-year-old me. Which wasn't that long ago, but it's just, age is a wonderful thing. In the sense that, especially as a young adult, 5 minutes feels like a lifetime, I think, sometimes. Although I think I maybe would still say this now, actually. Anyway, okay, the review for this one is, I'm just going to start telling you the stars first, I think. So it's 5 stars. Like, perfect, impeccable. And Michael Caine put his entire pussy into this performance. I was going to say I'll get demonetized, but I'm not monetized, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, put his entire pussy into this performance. It's also very indicative of the, like, 2021, 2022, like, cultural, like, TikTok talk. Like, the way I talked is very indicative of how everyone or how a lot of people talked then, especially, like, young adults and teenagers. Yeah, but I will repeat that for you. Michael Caine put his entire pussy into this performance. Now, to my knowledge, Michael Caine doesn't have a pussy, but, you know, it's a state of mind. You may already have it. Okay. Any guesses? Okay, this one also kind of feels obvious if you know me. And actually, I think I've made reference to this interest of mine. Oh no, I had a perfectly coiffed little, there we go. I was going to say I had a great little curl and it just, yeah. It's not as good anymore. Damn it. Damn it all to hell. So, in this lighting, sorry, totally unrelated. In this lighting, my hair really looks like a wig. I promise it's my actual hair. It really looks like a wig. I don't know why. Oh, my Phil Lester, circa 2009. Like, what? Yeah, so, anyway. You can tell it's late. I'm a little delirious. I'm filming this after, I don't know what order these will come out in, but the Balatro video, the first Balatro video I've done, first ASMR one, because I think I've technically got some old streams up on here, but yeah, no, it's like 11 p.m. So, and I normally go to bed at midnight, so it's getting late. I'm sleepy. Yeah, so Michael Caine put his entire pussy into this performance, and that performance was for the iconic, wonderful, fantabulous, festive experience that is the Muppet Christmas Carol. I'm not wrong. He's like made comment about how much he loved being part of that movie. That one's too easy. I list too many cast members. The thing is with a lot of my reviews is I'm just like gushing over the cast, which, you know, fair enough. But if I put them by name, it makes this game difficult because I either blank out all their names and then I'm just saying such and such and such and such were very good in this, and the music by this person, amazing, which isn't really a helpful review, but if I leave their names in, it's super obvious. And a lot of them are quotes too, so I might put in the ones where the quote is maybe less obvious. So there's one in my head at the moment, but this I think is difficult because it is about the movie, but it is something that could be applied to lots of movies. So if you get this, I'll be very impressed. This is the hard one. So this is a 3-star review. It's still hearted. It says, "It was really bloody average, but that is the fault of too much polish and not enough comedy. It lacks charm." That's the whole review. I was going to say this may be controversial, but I think this might be a relatively standard take in this fandom about this film. which is a hint because it's part of a wider franchise, which I guess doesn't mean much anymore, but like, you know, a capital F franchise. Like I said, 3 stars, and the review says, "It was really bloody average, but that is the fault of too much polish and not enough comedy. It lacks charm." You know what I should start doing? I'll start giving the years. So this movie came out 2018. 2018? Yes. I just said off the top of my head and I hadn't actually looked at what Letterboxd said. But yeah, that's my review of that movie. Any guesses? Okay. We'll tell you in 3, 2, 1. Now that is Solo, a Star Wars story. I love Star Wars and I love Han Solo as a character, and I think that the actor in that movie was great. It's not the actor's fault, but what they did to his character, in that they kind of didn't do anything fun with it, in my opinion, in that film especially, criminal. Okay, this is a questionable. I'm going to give you one that has a name in it, but again, this would be a great game for friends, but you all don't know me well enough to know what movie this would apply to. I apologize, my computer, it's very dusty. I'm like wiping dust off the front of the case. Yeah, so this is 4.5 stars and a rewatch. I think I've watched this movie many times, and it's Heath Ledger heart emoticon. So instead of it being an emoji, it's lesser than 3 symbol, because I'm cute that way. I still almost exclusively use emoticons. I don't really use emojis, unless I'm speaking to people that are using emojis, and then maybe I'll engage. I feel like it's a little high. And then maybe I'll engage in emojis, but only responsibly. I will never instigate them. Yeah. I'm not going to give you the year for this one, because I feel like if I give you the year, it's very obvious, because I think it might be the only movie he had that year. What do we think that I have hearts for Heath Ledger in, realistically? I feel like there are a few major contenders that this could apply to, and there's actually 2 movies that I do love that this would apply to, but this is the one the review's about, because the other one, it had other things to say, evidently. Okay. 3, 2, 1. This is 10 Things I Hate About You. It's my favorite rom-com of all time. Well, this is tied with another one, but it's so high up there. Everybody in it smashes it. It's so funny. It's so romantic. It's so good. I do have another review of that. It's like, it's one of the best adaptations of one of the worst Shakespeare plays, which is, I think, true. Because I think Taming of the Shrew sucks, but I think 10 Things is amazing. Okay. I'm just scrolling through this in like written order, so it might take me a while to find something good. Okay. Again, I'm realizing that there was a period there where I didn't do any actual reviews. I just wrote like 6 words to describe what I'm watching. God, it's so funny. I'm currently at the rate where I watched all the Scream movies in order, and it is as follows. Scream, Dewey Riley, You Will Always Be Famous. Scream 2, Gale Weathers, You Will Always Be Famous. The third one, slightly different. Not my favourite, but it was campy and fun. Plus, every time I see Gale Weathers, my heart simply soars. Scream 4, Rest in Peace Kirby, You Were So Hot. And Scream 5, well, 5 Scream, no number. Dewey, You Will Always Be Famous. This was before 6 came out, so. But I think I watched them all like in succession of each other. I think this might have been when Scream 5 came out, because I'm sure I went to go see it in the summer. That's not a movie, so it doesn't really count. It's my review of Company, the 2011 staging with Neil Patrick Harris and what's his name? The late night guy, Stephen Colbert. And I was gonna say Patti LuPone, but I mean it's Company, so she's always there. This is vague again, but I'll give it a go. This is a 4-star review. What a joyous teenage shit show. What a joyous teenage shit show. And this film came out in 2022. What a joyous teenage shit show. There's a couple of movies in the last few years I can think of that have this description, but the other one I'm thinking of was 2024, I think. So, and bonus points, I'm pretty sure this was a Netflix film. I'm pretty sure this was like Netflix Presents or like made by Netflix. Based on the cast anyway, it must have been. That feels like so many extra things, but yeah. What a joyous teenage shit show. You ready? 3, 2, 1. This was Do Revenge, starring Maya Hawke and, I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar was in it, but I can't remember her name, but Veronica from the CW's Riverdale. She's done other stuff, but that's the thing I know her as. Yeah. That would be really hard. Oh, we got to Scream 6, where my review was. Not gonna lie, I kind of want Sam to get a murder on in 7. She won't, but I think she deserves a little murder as a treat. Not that we watched Scream 7, because, you know, Free Palestine. But God, it's a shame that big companies are such wet wipes, because God. Okay. 3.5 stars. Needed to be at least 50% more Nicolas Cage. This movie came out in 2023. And if you know, although he was kind of quite active again during the 2020s again, like he's been doing stuff for the past few years. He's been very booked, but this one particularly, it is a movie for sure. And I genuinely remember this film. I watched the trailers, and based on the character that he was playing, I was so excited. And then, like I said, there was far less Nicolas Cage than I wanted there to be. I get that he wasn't the main character, but I wanted the character he was playing. I wanted to see him play the character he was playing more, if that makes sense. I wanted more of it. I wanted all the everything. Okay. Needed to be at least 50% more Nicolas Cage. Okay, 3.5 stars. You ready? It's Renfield, which was Nicholas Hoult as Renfield, and I think Aquafina was in it, and God, I can't remember the character she played. Like I said, I was in it for Nick Cage, and then Nick Cage wasn't like anywhere near as relevant or big of a character as Dracula as I wanted him to be, because like I like Nicholas Hoult, but like the movie to me was about Dracula, and then there was like a cop character that was prominent, and I just, a little disappointing, but it's okay. Okay, 2-star review, not even liked. Gregory Peck tries to murder a child because he doesn't like church. This feels obvious to me. I will give you the year, but it probably gives it away if you know anything about Gregory Peck's discography. It came out in 1976. The year my mum was born. I just realised it's the same year. Yeah, Gregory Peck tries to murder a child because he doesn't like church. This one is, of course, The Omen, which I hate. I can't stand the original Omen. I watched The First Omen, as in the film titled The First Omen, when it came out last year, the year before. And I enjoyed it far more than the original Omen. I think the original Omen sucks. I think it's paced horribly, and like it's got some very funny old scares, like the dog near the beginning. There's some good stuff in it, like some memorable stuff in it, but my God, as a film, it sucks a lot. Maybe that's an unpopular opinion, I don't know. Everyone I've ever shared it with has kind of went, yeah, it's shit. But I get that it spawned a lot of cultural stuff, so. Okay. 3-star review of a movie that I'm pretty sure I watched at least 2 drinks in. Maybe more than that. I'm a lightweight for the record, so 2 drinks is like enough for me to be like bouncing a little bit. Yeah, 3 stars. This film was so fucking goofy. Tits and being burnt alive. You gotta love 80s cinema. Love 80s cinema. Yeah. This film was so fucking goofy. Tits and being burnt alive. You gotta love 80s cinema. Like I said, 3 stars. And this movie came out in 1986. Yeah, we've got into me watching basically exclusively horror movies now. Which is still the case. I watch a lot more horror movies than anything else, but I was going through a real kick. And like I said, I was in a horror club where I was watching a horror movie every week with people, so it really like egged me on to watch other stuff in between. Yeah. Okay. This is a totally random one, so a lot of you will not have gotten this. This is the, I was gonna say hit, but I don't know how many people watched this film, Chopping Mall, where a bunch of teenagers get stuck inside a mall in the 80s. Some of them are like having sex in the corner, and it's all very like sleazy and fuzzy and cigarettes and 80s. And there are these like security robots, or are there cleaning robots? I can't remember. But they work for, because they're robots, the mall, and then they like go crazy and kill all the people that are in the mall because nobody's supposed to be in the mall. It's a great wild movie, and hey, anti-AI before AI, beating AI out by like 35 years, and absolutely correct. Let's see. This feels like one that is controversial, and I'm going to give it to you anyway. Okay, 3.5 stars for this film. This may be a controversial opinion, but a little underwhelming. I love top billing actor, and I absolutely understand film titles' importance to the genre, but it feels a little tame. Still had a good time though. I know I'm probably wrong here, and that's fine. Like I said, I was very into watching a particular genre of movies during this time, and if I tell you the year and you know anything about horror, you will know what movie this is. Probably. Yeah, this may be controversial opinion, but a little underwhelming. I love top billing main character, and I absolutely understand movie title, which I nearly just fully said. It's important to the genre, but it feels a little tame. Still had a good time though. I know I'm probably wrong here, and that's fine. You know, in 1978. So if you know anything about horror, you probably know the movie. If you don't, take a stab at it. Statistically, you'll maybe get it. There's not that many famous genre-changing like horror movies from the 70s. I mean, there are lots that are great, but I mean like specifically in that category of like having done insane amounts of, lasting power. 3, 2, 1. It's Halloween, of course. Yeah. Halloween's great, but I was expecting something slightly more, and then it just didn't, because I think the problem with movies that are like super famous and genre changing at a time period, and then the time passes and like the genre changes, those expectations are still there, which is totally fair because they made a huge impact. But it's like they're not, I don't know, the more time passes, the less exciting they are for the most part. I think there are exceptions to that. I think there's stuff like, again, this is personal opinion, but something like Psycho, I think, still lands just as hard as it used to. But that might just be because I am a huge Hitchcock fan. This one's probably nobody's going to get it. But I'm going to read you it anyway. 3.5 stars. See, men can do feminism in the 70s with lesbians. Now why don't they? It's the whole review. I'll repeat it. See, men can do feminism in the 70s with lesbians. Now why don't they? I think that's a perfect review of this film. This film also came out in 1978. Any guesses? This one seems difficult because I think the lesbians part is probably definitely subtext, and also I don't know how many people now that aren't horror or thriller people will have seen this. So, which is not being like, oh, look how quirky I am. Like, it's a great movie. I think everyone should watch it, but maybe not everyone, but you know what I mean. I thoroughly enjoyed this film, hence it getting 3.5 stars. And the longer it's been since I saw it, the more I want to watch it again. But it's not like the world's most popular film. So yeah, also 1978, like I said, this is a film called Someone's Watching Me, also directed by John Carpenter, which is fun that he did 2 in 1 year. This movie's great. I would highly recommend it. It does what it says on the tin. It's like a stalker type movie, but it's just so I don't know how to explain it other than the feeling the movie gives you, and like the vibe is just exceptionally good. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we'll do one more because I've got a lot of these that are just like, no, I'll maybe read you some more, but we'll do one more review. Okay, sure, we'll go with this one. This feels, maybe more people will know it. I don't know, I feel like this movie kind of had a cult following. We'll see. 4 stars. I would have never used my phone again. As I said, it's 4 stars. I would have never used my phone again. Oh, I'm so sorry. I dropped the little slider I was using. I'm so sorry for deafening you. I'm horrible. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I would have never used my phone again. This movie came out in 2018. If you know specific years, that helps you. But I mean, if not, I suppose it rules out Scream. Spoilers, I guess, to what movie it's not, but obviously one would assume that it's modern because of the phone using part. And then it's about smartphones and not just telephones or landlines or whatever else. Okay. Then you have your guess? You locked in? You logged in? Okay. This is a film called Cam, which is about a cam girl who... Do I spoil it for you? No, because I feel like the conceit of this movie was sold to me when I watched it and it didn't make a difference. Okay, I will read you the very short letterbox description, which is: a young cam girl discovered that she's inexplicably been replaced on her site with an exact replica of herself. It's amazing. It's so good. It is a mindfuck. Don't go into it on a bad day. It might mess you up. Yeah, it's a wild, insanely good movie. I have some interesting reviews here. There's stuff such as me complaining about Virgin Witch being lavender scaring. Talking about how much I love Sarah Michelle Gellar for I Know What You Did Last Summer. About how they miss some of the best moments from the red, white, and royal blue book in the movie. Making jokes about ginger snaps being a period piece and such other great reviews. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that I kept you company on an evening, morning, afternoon, day, whatever. And I also hope that you are relaxed a little bit, or at least engaged in something than whatever you were engaged in before. I hope I've distracted you if you need it. It's more what I mean. Or I've got you using your brain, maybe, which sometimes it's hard to remember, like it's important to use it. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you sleep well.